Welcome to this very special bonus episode of the Build Your Brave Career podcast. Why is this such a special episode? Well, I am celebrating today, August 9th, 2024, 5 years of business. Less than 50% of US based small businesses reach their 5 year anniversary. The numbers are even lower in Europe. So this milestone is significant, and I want to celebrate it. Stay tuned to the end of this episode because I am going to celebrate this by making a special offer to you to save on the coaching package of your choice. But before we get there, I want to role model. First, I want to celebrate 5 years of business highlights and celebrations. Then I want to share 5 years of business failures and struggles. And finally, I'm going to share 5 years or a slice of 5 years of personal growth and experiences to then wrap it up with a special offer for you. So let's dive in. 5 years of business highlights and celebrations. Okay. I have had the deep honor of being entrusted by over 100 women as their one-on-one coach. Those women have gone on to create over $3 million in today's exchange rate in new income and benefits that I know about. That's a conservative estimate. Additionally, and this continues to blow my mind, but I send out a detailed client survey every year, and the results are always the same in this one regard. 100% of those over 100 women tell me they stress less. 100%. What could you do with less stress? Oh, it's just huge celebration. Additionally, some more celebrations, over 125 speaker engagements with over 100,000 audience members. Nearly 200 Build Your Brave Career podcast episodes. And the podcast is now in the top 10% of global podcasts. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I've sent over 300 emails to my emailing list with insights and suggestions and resources. So exciting. I've had numerous consulting engagements that were both global and local that have built my skills and network, as well as created tangible and sustained results for the clients, which is what organizational change management is all about. And I've worked with 7 business coaches and consultants who have helped me grow as a business owner, a consultant, and a coach with their advice and expertise and insight and guidance and just giving a shit, quite frankly. In the show notes, I've linked 4 episodes actually, in the show notes of specific people I've worked with, either on their podcast or on mine. But 5 years also includes failures and struggles. So let's get vulnerable and let's get brave and let's dive in. You ready? Some failures. More than 10 of my coaching offers have completely failed. Like I build something, I think it's great, I offer it, and nobody is interested. Just didn't fit. More than 50 rejected consulting proposals, more than 50. But wait for the next number, because while I have supported over 100 women, more than 250 have said no. Oof. Wow. At least 5 podcast interviews where I was the guest were never published. And they were never published because I spoke up about human rights for all. Specifically in 2 cases, specifically for trans rights. And in another case, I spoke out about corporate greed. So all of that effort, the research, the preparation, and the recording, never used because I was myself. Additionally, I had one consulting engagement that I cut short, leaving a good chunk of revenue behind because there was toxic management behavior, nationalism, oof, scary, and short term decision making that legally exposed their clients. So I cut it short. I said, thank you, no thank you, and I moved on. And then two quote unquote business coaches who oversold, failed to show up, like literally failed to show up to their own program, didn't understand what they were attempting to teach or guide. And then in both cases, attempted to blame me for their gaps in skills and knowledge when I had a crucial conversation with them. Now, in good news, I got a refund from one of them, but I got a refund from only one of them. Oh, so painful. That being said, I am also reflecting on 5 years of personal growth, me as a human. Now, for longtime listeners, you know I only share my story and the stories from others I have been gifted the permission to share. I do not share stories from other people without their permission. Okay. So this is just a very small slice of the growth and the experiences I have had in the last 5 years. I realized as I was doing this exercise to celebrate 5 years of business, I have been an entrepreneur. I've been a business owner every single day of my 40s. I'm about to be 44. And every day of my 40s, I've been an entrepreneur. In fact, my youngest child doesn't remember me as an employee. That just blows my mind. I have navigated one unexpected and quite scary hospitalization for each of my three core family members. Hospitalizations where when they first entered the hospital or entered the ambulance, it wasn't sure how things were going to shake out. I'm so grateful that in each of those, my family is now doing well and that I was able to utilize the skills and the vulnerability and had the ability to feel my feelings and stay in the moment so that I could support myself, but more importantly, support my family member who was going through a pretty scary situation. Also, I entered perimenopause, genuinely thought I was losing my mind, could not pull together complex thoughts while also dealing with truly bizarre body pains. Like the symptoms of perimenopause are not what I was led to believe they are. And in fact, most doctors want to believe they are, even though there is tons of research and a lot of material out there. So I had to refuse to be ignored, dismissed, and even gaslit by a few doctors until I found a nurse practitioner who is informed, is willing to inform herself even more, including reading books with me, and most importantly, believes me so that we could try out different treatments, different approaches until we discovered the absolute miracle of intermittent fasting and personalized hormone replacement therapy. Y'all, if you have gone through menopause already, thank you for demanding better treatment. I am benefiting. And if you have not started this, start learning now because it is so complex. Okay, another personal growth. I now live in an area of great beauty, sidewalks, and community. I could not have imagined living in this space even 5 years ago. How do I know that? Because 5.5 years ago, I bought a house with a design I didn't like in a location I didn't like because I was trying to control costs. Now, sometimes it's more stressful to have a wildly more expensive home, but mostly I am grateful for me for stepping up what I thought was for me so that I could live where I live now. Which brings me to the next one. I have grown and up-leveled what I expect and what I accept in friendships, which means I've released more friendships peacefully and with honest expression and communication than I've created and nurtured new friendships. I am really grateful to myself for taking this commitment to myself so deeply and so truly, because while it is sad and I think with warmth on friendships that I no longer actively practice, I am also deeply grateful to myself for crafting friendships that are warm, even warmer, even more supportive, even more honest, even more two-sided. In summary, healing and growing as a human. And has my therapist and my coaches, they have been earning their money. But now I am genuinely a better version of myself. I like myself more. I appreciate my body and my brain and my soul even more than I did 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I appreciated all of me. I am proud of my business, of the impact I've created, and that my clients have then gone on to continue to create for themselves and for their organizations. I am so proud of the caliber of women and the form of companies that I've worked with. I am celebrating both the achievements and the failures. And I want more. I want to grow in my clarity, my momentum, and my accountability even more in the next 5 years. I want to continue to build my own brave as I support women in tech like you, so that you become braver, so that you stress less, and then you begin to work less so that you can earn more throughout your career. To that end, this week, I encourage you to take some time and reflect on your last 5 years, personally and professionally. Answer each of these questions. And I suggest answering them more than once, giving yourself some breathing room to remember and recall. The 3 questions are in the show notes, as well as the email that goes out. If you're not on my mailing list, definitely fix that. And it's going to be in a blog on my website. So no matter when you're listening to this podcast episode, you can benefit from these questions. Question number 1, what do you celebrate from the last 5 years in your career? In other words, what went well? Number 2, how did you struggle? How did you fail in the last 5 years? In other words, what didn't go well? Number 3, how did you grow as a person and in the last 5 years? In other words, who did you become? And I know that you are going to have a lot of content for each of these 3 questions. Why? Well, because it's been 5 years, right? You're going to have experiences. You're going to have celebrations. You're going to have struggles and fails, and you're going to have grown and changed as a person. But especially these 5 years, we went through a global pandemic. We went through a massive global reassignment and shift of the market. And now we're going through greed-driven layoffs globally. Talk about a wild 5 years. And so here's my special offer. Here is my special offer to celebrate 5 years of business and bring you into the celebration. If you complete this exercise, the 3 questions, and you share it with me over email by August 23rd, 2024, I will reward you with a 10% coupon on the coaching package of your choice. This coupon must be used by August 30th, 2024. The link to all of the details about my coaching offers is in the show notes, in the email, and on my website in the blog. So check that out and then hit reply with your exercise results. Mm. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in these 5 years. Thank you for celebrating 5 years of business with me. Thank you for reading and answering those emails, for connecting with me at live events and online. Thank you for listening to podcast episodes and giving me your feedback, submitting your questions and your suggestions and your critique. And thank you from the very, very bottom of my tippity toes to the very, very top of my scalp, of my head. Thank you for trusting me to be your career partner. It is an honor. It is a joy. And each day I do the work to be a career partner you can trust. Till next week, celebrating 5 years and celebrating you.